Okay. So Keacy, just give me a sink clap, please.
A what?
Sink clap. Sink clap.
I can't my hand hot in there. You ain't gonna think.
Well, that's a great shot. That is a fabulous shot.
This is a very fluent knock from Keacy Carty.
What an innings.
100 for Keacy Carty. He became the first man from St. Martin.
To be honest, I'm just trying to do my job. I mean, try to play to the best of my ability, try to impact the game in a positive manner. So on a personal standpoint, like, I haven't reflected on what I've learned from myself. I basically understand my game for the most part. Obviously, you're gonna learn the longer you play and the more experience you get, but I've just been trying to do my job. The attention to detail that I put into my practice on what's required to perform at an elite level in international cricket. Well, we always have a template on how we want to approach the innings, whether we are setting a total or chasing. So it's kind of different where we would break it down, like I said, whether we're chasing or setting a total. We take conditions into play on what we feel is a good total on that pitch on that day. So there's a few different factors. It's not just like a set template that I go by straight through.
Down the ground from Keacy Carty.
Well, that's a great shot. That is a fabulous shot.
I would say the first against England. One, because it was in a chase. Two, I was knocked out in the end. And three, it was the last game of a decider. So we ended up winning that series, so I would say the first one. The biggest challenge was I felt like I was good enough when I got here, and the things that I've improved on that I didn't have when I reached to international cricket that was the most difficult transition, because now I came to international level and I basically got figured out. So I didn't feel like I was good enough, but I didn't feel like I was far off. So the things that I had to work on and develop in order to be somewhat putting out the performances that's needed was the biggest factor for me. Being a part of the team from that time, I've had different roles. I was always a top order batter, but obviously I would have to come in and wait my turn. So I was required to play a few different roles, and when Sammy came in and told me he's gonna give me an opportunity at 3 when that chance arrived. And these are the things that you need to do in order to maintain your position and perform at an elite level. So I just grasped everything that I learned, try to put it into play, and that has been the difference between me and then to now. Well, conditions in Ireland and England was similar. The Caribbean is, where I grew up. Pitches are much flatter, there was no grass. So it was just getting in was much harder. So we had to find ways and methods on how to get in and still keep the game ticking over, which it was a bit more difficult, but that's the learning in the game. What I find with myself in the past, when I've focused on personal milestones and my stats and stuff, like, playing became harder for me because I was so focused on I have to do this or get this amount of runs in order to have this average or whatever. And it was just me putting additional pressure on myself. So what I figured out is, as long as I prepare well and give myself the best chance to perform on the field, I'm fine with that. What happens on the field happens on the field. Once I put my best foot forward on the day and in my preparation, I'm fine with that. You're always gonna feel very joyful to have done well. You put in the work and you see it being fruitful out there. And it was an eye-opener for me that, you know, I can perform at this level. It's just how I can be more impactful for the team, and maybe some of those performances are in a winning cause. So, like I said, we're not going to be here forever. So we just do our best that we are here. We're playing for an organization where it's a performance-based job. So you try your best to perform and help the team to win.
You're not only representing yourself, but the entire Caribbean back home. You have the opportunity to build your own legacy and continue what the past players have done for us. I want to wish you all the best in your first game today, and I hope you have a prosperous career.
Like I say, you're always going to be proud when you achieve certain things in life. Being the first doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm just happy that I'm here and that I can show other players back home can look and see, well, Keacy made it from here, why can't I? But, you know, my father worked hard. A lot of people believed in me back home. So I'm glad that I am at least here so they can see and feel joyful about it. So now it's just for me to try my best to perform and give them even more reason to be happy that I'm here. Just try and finish off the year strong. I mean, I started very well, and, you know, people tend to get comfortable with what they see very fast. They feel like that's the norm, which is not the case in most times, but just try and finish off the year as strong as possible. I mean, I'm basically a humble guy. I really don't bother with the hype or anything of that such. So when I do perform and when I do well, the following day comes like, okay, you have another game, you gotta perform because people expecting this and you're expecting certain things from yourself. The team still require you to do your job in order to win a game or contribute to winning a game. Come out and support. You know, we do appreciate the loyal fans who've always been supporting West Indies cricket.